Hey guys, you're in a nutshell with me, Ina. Finally, a judge is speaking out about the reality, about what is really happening sa criminal justice system ng Canada. Madalas po natin yan pag-usapan dito sa ating channel, di ba? We always say, bakit ba ang Canada masyadong mabait sa mga kriminal? Gagawa ng krimen, huhulihin, sisentensyahan, sa kakalabas na naman, uulitin na naman. It's like a never-ending cycle, no? One judge, we're gonna talk about a federal court decision niya dun sa kanyang desisyon. Sabi niya, sino ba dapat ang pinaprioritize ng justice system? Yung mga kriminal o yung mga biktima nito? Okay, ina-address niya yung situation na yan. What are we talking about? Baka po may mga bago tayong viewers dito, no? I'll explain it briefly. We've had a number of episodes, for example, talking about temporary residents o minsan yung mga out of status who commit crime, mako-convict. Pagdating na ng pagbibigay ng sentensya, some judges are being criticized because bababaan nila yung sentensya para makaiwas sa deportation. O yung iba para makaiwas sa any problems kasi baka hindi ma-PR kapag ito yung maging sentensya. Yung mga ganun ba? Parang, why? Okay, and I'm not talking about those who commit petty crimes. Ha? Mapagbibigyan ko pa yan. I'm talking about temporary residents or out-of-status people who are part of criminal organizations, carjacking syndicates, who do robberies, arson, shootings. It's mind-boggling to me. Bakit parang hirap na hirap ang Canada mag-decide na you should be removed? You're not even from here and then you behave that way. Anyway, so yun. Okay. Now we have a judge na hindi pinagbigyan ang request ng pamilya nitong accused na bigyan ng lighter sentence si Kuya. Okay, let me put this up first. This is from the National Post. I think from yesterday to na April 15, 2026. Ontario judge decries justice system for prioritizing foreign-born criminals over their Canadian victims. Sakto! Madalas yan mag-appear sa aking comment section. Alam ko marami sa inyo frustrated na rin sa sitwasyon na yan. Ano ba yung kwento? I actually found the court decision, no? Ito po yan, ang decision ni judge. Okay? Published po, March 30, 2026. I'll just summarize it for you, no? Ang nangyari, merong international student, actually, former international student kasi out of status na siya. Nireklamo po siya, okay, ng kanyang ex-girlfriend dahil sinreten daw na kung hindi mo ako bibigyan ng pera, actually, maliit na amount lang, no? Kung hindi mo ako bibigyan ng $50, maglalabas ako ng mga intimate videos mo. Yan. Ang nangyari, binigyan ngayon ng $50. Pero nilabas pa rin yung video, parang in-upload sa Snapchat. So, na-trauma ngayon in short itong si ex-girlfriend. She claims meron siyang lifelong trauma and will be in distress for a long time because of the embarrassments that happened to her. Because of that, he was actually arrested. Pero, eto na, he was released on bail. Isa po sa mga conditions sa kanyang bail ay no contact ka dun sa complainant mo, dun sa ex-girlfriend mo. He violated that. He was rearrested. For some reason, released again on bail. And then violated it again. Okay? So, dyan umiikot po ang kanyang storya. O ngayon, convicted na, the decision primarily tackles yung sentencing. Pinapaliwanag ni judge ang kanyang sentensya. Let me bring you to the relevant portion. By the way, the family is asking the judge for leniency. Bakit? May 3 main points silang binibring up dito. Dahil meron naman dong rehabilitation, pwede naman daw mabago itong kanilang anak. Okay, aayos naman yan. Pangalawa, meron daw academic potential. Later on, tell me kung meron talagang academic potential. May babasahin ako dito about that. At pangatlo, dahil kapag ma-convict siya ng more than 6 months, mapapadeport ang kanilang anak. Okay, pero no, the judge decided ang kanyang sentensya ay 2 years. Actually, more than 2 years. 28 months in prison. Okay? Ito ang sabi ni judge. Yan. In my opinion, the Canadian justice system is at an inflection point. Who should get priority? Should it be a foreign-born individual with no current immigration status, who was granted the privilege of attending one of our educational institutions and used that opportunity to abuse a law-abiding, honest, hardworking, but vulnerable Canadian citizen? Asking that question provides the obvious answer, sabi ni Judge. Next, sabi niya, I believe the accused was in large part successful in ruining the complainant's life as he threatened and promised while the offense was occurring. The courts, as it's stated in one of the cases, often talk about the principles of deterrence and denunciation, and then contradict those by instituting relatively light sentences. Diba ang sinasabi niya? Lagi nating sinasabi na we're tough on crime. And yet, we keep on handing out light sentences. Bakit ganoon? Okay. These proclamations are akin to what appears to be an ongoing current Canadian cultural trend to express shock and outrage at criminal attacks on vulnerable targets, followed by hollow words of condemnation such as, "This is not who we are," then followed again by relative inaction, thereby ignoring the disturbing reality that this is now clearly what we have indeed become. Diba? Clearly aware si Judge sa sentimiento ng maraming Canadians. Dito sa mga nangyayaring light sentences, sabi niya, he used the term relatively light sentences being handed out to criminals. And I'm sure, tulad ng marami sa inyo, di ba? Bakit parang mas priority pa yung future nung mga criminal na ito, lalo na mga temporary residents dito? Eh kung Canadian citizen na mag-commit ng crime, they would get the full sentence, right? Wala namang i-consider na immigration status eh. Di ba? Yun yung issue. Meron pa nga sinasabi dito si Judge, guys, no? Naalala niyo yung sinasabi ko na ilang beses nakapag-bail, di ba? Tapos bina-violate niya yung conditions ng kanyang bail kasi nakikipag-communicate pa rin doon sa complainant, doon sa ex-girlfriend. That happened sometime in 2023. Sabi niya, in my opinion, in 2023, not only should the accused have not been at large on bail, dapat hindi na yung pinalabas on bail, but he should not have been in this country at all. Kasi nga, guys, out of status siya. While the legal system was catering to the needs of the accused, now a convicted criminal with no legal immigration status, what was happening to the complainant? Habang iniisip nyo yung status ng accused, iniisip nyo ba kung anong pinagdadaanan ngayon ng kanyang biktima? Diba? Yan ang sinasabi ni Judge. So what do you think about this? I hope this sparks more discussions about this. I hope more members of the judiciary or law enforcers speak out about this issue, no? Oh, by the way, remember, sabi ng family, no, may potential daw bilang isang estudyante yung bata. Kasi po yung accused, balikan natin yung decision, arrived in Canada in 2014 on a study permit. He failed to leave in 2023 when his status expired. Hindi ko mahanap yung portion, no, pero guys, hindi rin niya natapos yung kanyang schooling. Ang tagal, ang dami niyang panahon. Tapos na out of status siya in 2023. The accused currently has no legal status in Canada and has a removal order. Imagine, medyo kakapalan na lang na mukha, no? Kung itutulak mo pa na magstay ito. Sabi nga nung isang report ng CBSA, no, tungkol sa kanya, he was attending to complete a bachelor's degree in chemical engineering. He advised that his education was on hold in his third year due to this matter before the court. But 2023 was the accused's 9th year in an alleged attempt to get a bachelor's degree that was started in 2015 on a student visa. What serious student takes 9 years to obtain a 4-year degree? And then the family will ask for leniency dahil una, pwede i-rehab, tsaka pwede pa naman, tsaka may potential pa bilang estudyante. It's too late for that, no? Anong pruweba mo na magiging good student ito? Eh, may 7 na taon na nga siyang nakalipas. Okay, so sana, no, magkaroon pa ng mga ganitong desisyon. If only we see more judges, more interpreters of the law, sharing the same sentiment. At least it's a win in this case, ano. Pero alam nyo, sige, bago tayo magpatapos, no, I will not expound on it. Nung nagpe-prepare ako sa episode na ito, sakto naman nakakita rin ako, oh. Tingnan nyo to. From the National Post also, published also yesterday. It's yet but another case wherein an international student on an expired permit, okay, na-convict na huling bumibili ng kotse using fake documents, na-convict na, no? Sinantabi ng Immigration Division yung report ng CBSA na mag-enforce basically ng removal order. And then it was brought to court and the judge sided with the Immigration Division. Didn't think that he should be asked to leave. Ang weird. Expired na nga yung permit eh. Sabi, an international student who was kicked out of college but remained in Canada on an expired student permit has been allowed to stay in the country after it was determined that, although he had participated in a crime, hindi naman daw kasi organized crime. Ito yung decision dyan, no? The CBSA prepared a report that alleged na itong respondent inadmissible na sa Canada. Tapos pinasa nila yung report sa Immigration Division. But the ID, yung Immigration Division, rejected the allegation. Inapila ito sa korte and the judge still sided with the Immigration Division. So now the guy gets to stay. Now, hindi ko na alam anong mangyayari sa kanya, no? Kasi nga, wala siyang permit eh. Ano ba mangyayari? I don't know. But this is just another example, ano, kung bakit frustrated ang marami at bakit rin frustrated si Judge, yung pinag-uusapan natin nung una. Anyway, let me know what you guys think. I'll end this episode here. See you guys in the next one. Bye!